Welcome, Commanders family, to Command Center Game Day Live. Brought to you by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. Now, Northwest is celebrating Game Day and thanking Commanders fans with a $400 cash bonus when you open your first ever checking account. This is a limited time offer, so do not wait. Visit northwestnwfcu.org/Washington to find out how you can score that cash bonus with your new checking account. Stop searching and go Northwest. Commanders family for the last time of the season. It is the final week of the NFL season out here at FedEx Field, where the Washington Commanders are set to host the Dallas Cowboys, one of the best rivalries in the NFL. Right now, you are seeing a live look at FedEx Field. These views are brought to you by Verizon. Verizon, the network Commanders rely on. Brian Cole Jr. here with Brian Mitchell, Santana Moss.
Cold Santana Moss.
Oh, man, my nose is running. I'm sorry if I got the sniffles, but we are out here for our last Command Center pregame live of the season. Fellas, how y'all feeling today?
I'm feeling good. You know, I hope the team is feeling good. I hope there's some guys on this team that want to put that last effort out there and show people what they're really about. You know, I understand with the mindset of the fans, a lot of them just want to worry about the positioning in the draft.
Yeah.
But guys play for prize.
Yes.
And I want to see those guys go out there and give that and show it. You know, some guys that nobody may have thought could do something, they could probably get a chance to go out there and get it done.
Yeah.
You know, other guys that were expected to get it done all year that hadn't been getting it done, let's give us one last try. Let's see what you have.
I've been in this position too many times in my career. You know, the last game, nothing to play for, but your pride won and your livelihood. I keep saying that because tomorrow's not promised. You know, next year's not promised for us. So as players, we have one goal in mind. That's to go out here and be dominant, you know, handle our business. So I know all these guys, regardless of what the outcome is tomorrow or after Monday, they have to go out here and handle their business today. This is the last game of their season or this particular contract year for them to go out there and strut their stuff.
And you talk about being dominant. Well, Tanner, there's nobody that knows about dominance against the Cowboys quite like the Cowboy Killer. So like I always do for the last time this season, give us that memory when you think about this rivalry and what it means to play this game at home against the Cowboys.
Well, since we home, I think my most fondest memory against the Cowboys at home is the 2007 game. After we lost Sean, we had to play these guys, to beat these guys to get into the playoffs. And I believe we went through like five games straight. We won that year just to make it to the playoffs, and they was the last game. And we beat them by 21. It was pouring down raining.
And by 21?
Yeah, beat them by 21.
Oh.
And I'm like, isn't that something? You know what I mean? And I remember I scored a touchdown in that end zone back there, and I remember someone had a picture. They just showed it to me like a couple of weeks ago of me holding the deuce one up, going in that last tunnel. It was like, wow. You know what I mean? So that was my fondest memory, playing them here at home. And it's one of those games, man, that I will always cherish.
You know, for me, people talk about records that are held. And I have one record that I hold, and it's against the Dallas Cowboys. I scored more yards against the Dallas Cowboys than any one player in the history of the NFL has scored against someone. So when it's against that team, you know, I had a chance to play against them with 3 different teams. And to have all those yards against that team, it just lets me know, like, when I win against them, I wanted to step my foot on their neck and shut off their win.
And it's just something different about these Cowboy games, right? It's not a Super Bowl, but there's a lot of people watching. There's a lot of pressure on there. And this time last year, Sam Howell got his first start against the Dallas Cowboys and did what we love to see. He beat the Dallas Cowboys. Now let's take a look at Sam talking about that game earlier in the week right now.
Sam, 1 year ago, you were getting ready to start against Dallas. That was obviously your first NFL start. Have you had some time today to reflect on how crazy it is where you are right now compared to 1 year ago today?
Yeah, it is crazy, man. I thought a little bit about that. You know, just this time last year, I was obviously, getting ready to play my first game, and now I have the full year kind of under my belt. But definitely just so blessed to be where I am and just to be a part of this team and a part of this organization.
Sam, what can you take away from the Thanksgiving Day game that can maybe help you this Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at the things we did well, and I thought we ran the ball well in that game. Got to get the run game going on Sunday, and just got to try to stay balanced, and keep the defense on their heels, and take shots when you can. They do a good job on defense, have a really good front. So we definitely have our hands full, but we'll have a good plan, and we just got to go out there and execute.
That was our starting quarterback, Sam Howell, and that is right. Sam Howell will be starting in today's game. A very up-and-down season for Sam, man. There's a point where he's leading the league in passing yards. There's a point where he's benched for Jacoby Brissett. How does he come out here today and answer some of those questions, Beamish, that people have surrounding Sam?
I would say just think back. Think about how he felt when he got the chance against them last year in that last game and the things he did. Because after that game, a lot of people came out with a lot of hope about Sam. And he said in the interview that they ran the ball well. Well, you know what? Brian Robinson is playing today. So run the football well. Give him an opportunity to go out there and throw it around. And listen, it's been an up and down season for him, but ultimately, that's how careers can go sometimes. But you have another chance. And he has a chance right now, and I'm going to say this, to show this team or another team what he's about.
Yeah.
Because let's be real. If they're in the second pick, third pick, they probably going to go with the quarterback.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean his career is over.
Right.
There are guys who've been backups for a long time. Guys that we didn't think could be a starter, Gardner Minshew, that's playing his butt off right now. So you're going to have opportunity. And I just say, Sam, I've liked him because he hadn't let things bother him. Yeah. And I don't want to ever let him show that things are bothering him.
Yeah.
If he can step on the football field and be that prideful guy, you know, and do some great things, that'll go well for him throughout his whole career.
Yeah, that's one of the things about being a player in this league, man. I think, you know, just playing a sport, you're never going to be your best and you're never going to be your worst. You know, it's going to be a day that you can rewrite what you did last, you know, that last day or that last, you know, last performance. So when I look at Sam's season, he's still a rookie to me. That he's been thrown through the fire. He's seen it all, the ups, the downs.
Yeah.
And guess what? He still responds the same. That's what tells you what kind of player or quarterback you have. A guy that he's not out here, you seeing him talking any different than when he had his best performance to when we've been saying that he had his worst when he was benched.
Yes.
So I have high hopes for Sam still, regardless of what happened next year, and I think still he has to go out here and make a say-so for that himself today.
And even though this is the last game of the season, this has very huge implications for the Dallas Cowboys. A win today guarantees that they win the NFC East. If they lose and Philly wins the NFC East. So clearly the Dallas Cowboys have something to play for today. They're going to be playing hard. How do you see the Cowboys coming out here? Do you think they take a little rest knowing playoffs is coming, or are they going full throttle?
No. Why would you take a rest? They want to win the East. They're going to come out and play.
Yeah.
So if they lose this game, I don't want to hear anything about, well, we didn't really play. No, they're going to come out here. The Eagles have been dominant in the NFC East for the last 15, 20 years. Yeah. And Dallas want to shut that down.
Yes.
They want to go out there and prove that they're coming back. They're like they were when they were in the early 90s. But ultimately, you know, Washington still has something to say about that. You know, I know a lot of people don't want us to win this game, but I hope everybody in that locker room feels like I do. Yeah. You know, hate that team and want to go out there and kick their ass. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see nobody go out there and play around. Let the coaches, let the people in the front office, you think about that. But if you have on cleats and a helmet, you're out here to kick some ass and win a football game.
Should I say anything after that?
Yeah, he got it on that one.
I shouldn't say nothing after that, man. I mean, that's what you want to do. You know, Dallas is going to come out here and play their guys. Now, depending on how things happen or the outcome, I'm hoping that these guys in our locker room have the energy to go out here and say, guess what? We want your starters to play all 4 quarters. So we're not going to let you come in here and get up on us.
Yes.
We're going to make them work for everything they have today. And I think, you know, one of the things we have to say is they have a dominant team.
Yes.
They are where we trying to get to. You know what I mean? You know, people get it twisted. We come in here and say, oh, we're going to beat the Cowboys today. No. We're trying to beat them, and we have a chance to defeat them today. So I'm hoping we have the energy to go out there and make them work for it.
And a playoff ranking is on the line for them, like we said, the NFC East. For us, though, we're 4-12.
Yeah.
What does that mean as players, right? When you come into a game knowing Dallas has a lot to lose in this game, you guys have really everything to gain. What does that mean for a Commanders player right now coming into this knowing, yo, we can take them out of the NFC East?
They're not necessarily worried about taking Dallas out. They're worried about putting up a good showing.
Yeah.
To make sure when people start thinking about what are our plans for next year, no matter who it is, what team around this league, that they add names in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's the ultimate thing where you want to, I don't care who you're playing for the most part, when you're playing them, you want to put your best foot forward.
Yes.
And if you can go out there and do that, then people begin to find out a little bit about you.
Yeah.
You know, for me, guys always say, well, it's Dallas week. I want it to be good every week. Now, in Dallas, I want to be good, but I want to bring a little extra. But I don't want to get so much in bringing the extra where I'm going to do something that's not pertaining to what we have playing all week. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
When you start trying to do that as an individual, then you mess yourself up.
Yeah. Now, Tanner, for you, Terry McLaurin, 54 yards away from his 4th consecutive 1,000-yard season. No other Washington player has accomplished that feat.
Yeah.
You've had a few 1,000-yard seasons. What's going through Terry's head right now, and how important is that 1,000 yards?
Not trying to press. I remember coming into a couple of my 1,000-yard seasons. I had 4 of them, and I remember saying I needed to get it on this last game. You're not pressing. You're telling yourself you're going to come out there and do the same things you did every week. But for the offensive coordinator, the guys who calling the plays, give him his 1,000 yards in the first 2 series. First 2 guys in the game, throw the ball to Terry. I mean, you know, that's the least they can do. You know what I mean? I think this guy has went out there, regardless of how you did things week in and week out, he's been that guy. He's been the player that, hey, I'm not going to BS about it. I'm not going to bitch and moan about it. I'm going to go out here and play the game the way I know. And that's what you got to, you know, reward a guy like that and make sure you know that, hey, I know what's going on with you. I know you can you know, eclipse a feat that no one has done here in a while. So I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to show you early. And I think it's going to benefit us if we do so because we know we get Terry going.
Yes.
Our offense go as far as Terry goes.
You saw C.J. Stroud last night?
Yeah.
First play of the game, what did he do to his guy? He gave it to him. That kid has more receptions last night or in this year than he did in his first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
He had more yards than he did in his first 2 seasons. I'm sure there's some type of incentive around that.
No doubt.
But Terry McLaurin, and I heard Eric talking this week, well, yeah, we want him to get that.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It looks good for Terry. It looks good for the team. And you go out there and you show it. 6 people have had 4.
Yeah.
If he can get his 5th, how many people had that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
that's true.
So I listen, I would want him to get, if I was a quarterback, I'm looking for him. I would get it for him early. Tom Brady would do it. Hey, Sam Howell, give it to him. You don't know how much you might get a bigger Christmas present next year.
I swear.
And like we've said all season, I'm going to repeat it again. When in doubt, get Terry the ball. We're going to talk more about Terry. We're going to talk more about this offense and this defense. But first, we need to send it down to the field to our guys, Fred Smoot and London Fletcher, who have the best seat in the house, brought to you by SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. London, Fred, how y'all feeling down there?
All right, Fred. Frederick. It's here, man. It's here. I'm going to hold off on your middle name. Listen, this is it, man. D-game for this organization, for this franchise, this team, going against the hated rival, the Dallas Cowboys. An opportunity for us to start the new year off right if you want to kind of look at it from that standpoint, and also send the Dallas Cowboys into the playoffs with a loss. When you look at this matchup between these 2 teams, a lot has changed since the week 12. Well, since the week 12 matchup on Thanksgiving Day. How do you see this matchup going?
Well, first of all, when I see that silver and blue, I want to throw up most of the time. And you got to realize, what people see right here, they don't understand. With these players, it's passion, it's connection. We're going to get the best from these players.
Exactly.
And I know we're going to have a lot of guys out there with new numbers on, new names on back of their jersey, but they understand this is their chance for not just this organization, to put their name out there for other organizations. Understand this, Sam Howell is not coming out here to lose this game. Sam Howell is coming out here, 1, to make sure Terry get over that 1,000-yard mark, and 2, he wants to leave a good taste in his organization's mouth, considering that they got to look forward to changes in the offseason.
When I was thinking about this game, one guy immediately came to my mind as far as having a guy who can have an outstanding game, and it was B-Rob. B-Rob can have a game like we had, like Alfred Morris had back in 2012 when he went for over 200 yards rushing against the Cowboys. This is the type of game, if they want to say, hey, you know what, let's see, can the Dallas Cowboys stop the run? Because we haven't seen, lately, they have not been able to stop that run. I saw that the Buffalo Bills run for over 200 yards against them. Teams have been able to run the ball on them if you commit to that run. I'm like, man, let's run this ball. Let's make them like it, and let's slow down that pass rush.
Hey, I'm gonna take you back. I'm gonna take you back to when we was playing. You remember how the Colts was built? They was built to be front runners and play with pass rushes. Well, the thing to do with them was run at the pass rushes. That's what people are seeing right now. The only way to neutralize Michael Parsons is to run at Michael Parsons and make him tackle. So at the end of the day, you're right. B-Rob is the guy to weaponize because he can be the offensive guy to keep Dak Prescott in that offense on the sideline. And he can also help the defense by giving them a chance to rest.
When we look at our defense, we have to look at that, especially on the back end. They come in here with CeeDee Lamb. He's a beast. He's a monster.
120 plus catches.
Banged up secondary for us. Kendall Fuller's going to be out. Jimmy
Juice
out. What do you expect? Because we will be challenged. Brandon Cooks, another receiver for the Cowboys. We're going to be challenged. Ron Rivera's calling the defense. How do you kind of anticipate him trying to slow this high-powered Cowboys offense down.
No Sam Singer today, baby. We gonna go cover 2. We gonna go cover 4, and we gonna try to help these guys out. We also gonna. I think they also play a cover because he plays inside a lot.
Yeah.
I know he'll have linebackers shadowing him and safeties recognizing where he at all times, get him a chance to stop him.
He do those things, man. I can't wait to see this matchup. I know, hey, you're looking at, we don't have anything to play for.
Yes, we do.
The Dallas Cowboys,
yes.
You always got something to play with. And at the end of the day, the mandate is beat Dallas.
Yes.
Not me.
Great to hear from London and Fred. Fellas, they talked about that run game. You kind of mentioned it a little earlier, too. How important is this run game for today's success?
Well, I think when you look at it, it's a little chilly. And when the game kicks off, it's going to be colder than it is now. That wind is whipping a little bit. So in that type of game, if you can go out there and establish a run, and Fred's absolutely right. If you run the ball at Michael Parsons, you can kind of like nullify him a little bit. Dexter Lawrence plays a lot better against a run than Michael Parsons. But still, if you're a pass rusher, you want to rush the passer against a guy who's less athletic than you. But if you have to take that guy on being aggressive in your chest all day, that changes the ball game. So I would love to see them go after them, and then you can get the play action pass out there, which work even better if you establish your run.
Yeah, they all are absolutely right, but for some odd reason, seems to stay away from it. So I'm hoping that the guys up front shows him something early that he can stick with it. I mean, I think when you look at what we have in the backfield, you have a hungry B-Rob back. You know what I mean? He's healthy. You want to make sure you can, like Fred always says it, weaponize the run game. So hopefully we can go out there with that mentality and say, let's take a lot off of Sam. Not a little. Let's take a lot off his shoulders and allow this guy B-Rob to, chop at the bits and go out there and get after those guys.
Great analysis by London Fletcher and Fred Smoot. They will be joining us later in the show. We'll be talking more offense. We'll be talking more defense. But before that, let's get into today's most rewarding odds presented by Fanatic Sportsbook, the most rewarding sportsbook. Now, Washington are underdogs by 13 points with a money line of plus 500 and an over-under of 47 points. That's the odds for you. Now let's check out what we have next on Command Center Game Day Live. The one and only Fred Smoot will be joining us on set right after the break to take a deeper dive into this Commanders defense and who needs to step up against the Dallas offense in order to get the win in this rivalry matchup. And later, we've got one of the best parts of the show where we hear from you guys. That's right, hashtag left hand up. During the break, be sure to use the hashtag left hand up in the comments for a chance to have your question answered by our crew. All that and more will be coming up next after this break, but there's no reason to go anywhere. We will keep our live stream up for you guys, and we will see you right after this break.
Can't stop adding stuff to your cart? Get the Bank of America customized cash rewards card. Choose the online shopping category and earn 3% cash back.
The final stone of the championship.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary.
Well, Roger, this is looking good.
We believe every moment in sports should be epic.
Are you watching this?
Is that curling? No.
This morning's news, curling fever has taken over the world.
So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Regardless of the team you support on Sundays, the joy of victory is right around the corner. So is getting an affordable, reliable new Toyota. And with plenty of vehicles in stock, there's less waiting and more saving, making now a good time to score with a great deal. Like special financing as low as 3.99% on reliable Legends, RAV4, and Highlander. It's game on at Toyota, official partner of the NFL. Toyota, let's go places.
VetTix secures unused event tickets to give back to the military and veteran community. The mission? To strengthen family bonds, build lifelong memories, and encourage service members and vets to stay engaged in their community. Giving out over 15 million tickets since 2008, VetTix continues to give something to those who gave. To find out how you can help give once-in-a-lifetime experiences to our veterans, service members, and their families, Visit vettix.org today.
Oh, game's on. We need more chips. More dip, too.
More?
Yes, more. Oh, that reminds me. We can still score that $400 bonus from Northwest if we hurry. It's with your first ever checking account.
$400? That's the kind of more I like.
Then let's do it. But first, more chips.
To earn bonus, open first ever checking account and deposit at least $500 in ACH or direct deposits per month within the first 90 days. Offer ends November 30. Details at nwfcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
One bag.
The winter play was really coming together. Until disaster struck. Tensions were high. Luckily, replacement costumes were shipped with FedEx, which means Mr. Harvey could picture the perfect night. We're delivering more happy for the holidays.
Have fun, sis.
Can't stop adding stuff to your cart? Get the Bank of America customized cash rewards card. Choose the online shopping category and earn 3% cash back.
Give us a hot.
Welcome, Commanders family, back into Command Center Game Day Live, presented by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. It is game day out here at FedEx Field, and we are gearing up for a Week 18 kickoff against the Dallas Cowboys. These live views are brought to you by Verizon. Verizon, the network Commanders rely on. And right now, let's power up, presented by Power Up Premium Trail Mix, proud trail mix partner of the Washington Commanders. Brian Cole Jr. here with Brian Mitchell, Santana Moss, and Fred Smoot, who actually looks like he might be cold today. Or you still not cold?
Hey, he's so cold, his beard turning gray.
It happens, B. Mitch. You know how it happens.
Hey, well, Fred, you still look good, man, and we're going to start with you. We have the Power Up Trail Mix here. So, you know these receivers, baby. You talked about it during Command Center.
Yeah.
How would you power up against this receiver core to get ready to lock some guys down?
Well, first of all, people think that these players with the burgundy and gold on not going to show up to play today.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys actually think these players can't bust a great working for Welch's.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I tell people all the time, if you got a chance to showcase yourself, you got a chance to go out here with that name on the back of that jersey, they're going to show up to play. But we got to play a lot of zone today.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, because there's a lot of players that just got their jersey 3 days ago.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to stop CeeDee Lamb. You got to play a lot of cover 4 and a lot of cover 2 and bend, but don't break.
Yeah.
That's what you got to think, and you got to get the pass rush. The pass rush got to get there.
Yeah. I think the pass rush is more important.
Yeah.
People always talk about the back end, but if you're getting the pass rush at him, then you all of a sudden have a quarterback throwing the ball sooner than he wants to throw it.
Yeah.
And Dak Prescott has been known to throw interceptions now.
Yeah, he will.
Let's not fool ourselves.
Well, Fred, I would have loved to see you line up against CeeDee Lamb.
I would have loved it.
I know you would have.
Well, the thing about it, CeeDee Lamb is one of those guys, he'll tear your ankle working in the phone booth. He's quicker than he is fast.
Yeah.
So the thing with me was I was going to have to stay tight on him, just like a jacket. I'm talking about all over him. And if I'm going to get a pass interference or two, that's fine. But you cannot let him get in his bag because yak is what he does well.
Yes.
Once he get the ball inside in his hands, the safeties and the linebackers, they're going to have to come help.
And earlier this week on Command Center, Fred, you talked about how we match up against this wide receiver core.
Yeah.
Let's check that out right now.
Fred, you up next, man. What matchup are you looking for Sunday?
Manuel Forbes! No, I'm just kidding.
You're right. You're bringing it up.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb could be the hottest receiver in football right now. 122 catches, 10 touchdowns. He's finding ways to get it done. And you know I was hard on him at the beginning of the year. I tried to say he was a 1B.
Yeah.
Way to say, take that, Fred Smoot. I'm a 1A. And it's all about Dak Prescott. We talked about what Green Bay did with their older receivers and their quarterback, and what they're doing right now, Mike McCarthy, and what they're doing with Dak Prescott. Dak is in his bag right now.
Yeah.
And I think it had everything to do with him saying, you know what, I'm not a pocket passer. I'm going to run the ball. And when he breaks the pocket with a guy like CeeDee Lamb that can break your ankle in the phone booth, it makes it hard for all DBs to stick with him. And the fact that he plays Z. He plays wide. They move him inside. I think that changes the game. So sometimes it's going to be Quan Morton. Sometimes it's going to be Emmanuel Ford. Sometimes it's going to be the other cornerback.
Yeah.
So I just think it's going to be a hard task, and they're going to have to do that together.
Yeah.
Tanner, you heard Fred talk about containing CeeDee Lamb as a receiver that was very hard to guard. What have you seen from CeeDee Lamb this season?
He stepped his game up.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in his bag. I mean, also, you got to think about it. Mike McCarthy is calling the plays
Yeah.
now. It reminds me back when he was calling plays in Green Bay and he had Greg Jennings.
Yep.
He had Greg Jennings. He had,
Donald Driver.
Donald Driver. But I'm just talking about just far as, that he's calling things to make sure that he can get CeeDee Lamb off, knowing that he's one of those guys. You get him going and the offense should flow well. But, yeah, man, he's on the tear. We talked a lot about him coming to this season, talking about he might be
a 1B.
Yeah, I talked about it.
We said there was a lot of guys, in front of him, and he showed up. He proved us wrong.
Yeah.
So, but I got
You don't like to be hit, though.
Yeah, I got to tip my hat off to him, man. You want to see guys like this, or I guess you can say mature every year. And I think he's at that state right now where he's showing guys that, hey, you saw me last year, show you guys what I can do this year. He's like, I'm taking over stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And B-Mitch, how hard is a guy like CeeDee Lamb to game plan for? We talk about Ron Rivera calling these defensive plays. He knows there's some weapons out there. How hard is it to guard a guy like CeeDee Lamb?
The thing about him is that CeeDee Lamb is going to go out there and you're not going to stop him.
Yep.
So what you got to try to do is eliminate the big play. Mm-hmm. When he catches the ball, as Tanner said, he's all about yards after the catch. If you can go out there and hit him once he catches the ball and make him have to work for it, that changes up his ball game. But if he catches the ball and you take the wrong angle, or you try to go for the ball, you don't get it, he's wide open, he's about to give you a rough day. But you have to make sure you can he'll catch it, but stop it right when he catches the ball.
And Fred, we know that this secondary of ours is banged up. We know we got some guys on injury reserve. We got some guys getting their first start ever today, much like Sam Howell did last year. We talk about that next man up mentality, man. How important is a game for these young guys in this secondary?
Well, you don't think these guys out there with no name can get a name off of Shen CeeDee Lamb there?
Yeah.
Like, every guy gives you an opportunity at the end of the day. The guy with the name, you become the hunted. The guy that has no name, he becomes the faceless man that can make himself money today. So these guys have to work together. We've been saying it all year. They need to communicate. They need to always know where 88 is. They need to always understand we're going to stop him together. We ain't going to do it one by one. And if they can get that mentality, that bunker mentality, you can't, like B-Mitch said, you can't stop him, but you can hope to contain him.
And as we mentioned, there's some guys out, so let's go ahead and look at our list of inactives today. This injury report is presented by VHC Health. For you, for life. Now here is a full list of inactives. You're seeing here. Let's talk about a couple of these guys. Safety Cam Curl is inactive. Andrew Wiley is once again inactive. We talked about the depleted offensive line. And then somebody that really stuck out to you, Tanner, was Jonathan Allen not being in. Tanner, I'm going to start with you because you felt strongly about this.
Yeah.
How do you feel this loss of Jonathan Allen affects today's game?
I mean, not only just knowing that he's one of those guys, he's a difference maker up front, you want to have a full stable of guys.
Yes.
And when you don't have the core, there, now you had to see all these guys who's been on the practice squad and guys we've been signing off the streets. It's tough to come out here and say these guys are going to compete. So I'm hoping that Ron got these guys on one. We always say, we got to be on one today. They got to be on one because that Hawk is out here today.
Don't forget, we got a survivor of the body bag game sitting here with us. Like B-Mitch knows how it feels. You know what, B-Mitch? How about you play a little quarterback today? No, I'm going to run it back return. So he knows what these guys in the mentality. What was y'all mentality on that day, B-Mitch?
The mentality was, I got an opportunity. And that's the main thing what Santana was talking about. These guys didn't expect to be here. A lot of them didn't expect to play. But they all wanted to be in the NFL. So what you got to do is go out there now and make sure you get it done.
Yes.
I ended up like in that game that Fred is talking about. I played running back, kick return, punt return, quarterback, cover kicks and punt. I did everything I can. Why? Because I've been praying for this opportunity. I got it. And I did things in that game that gave me another opportunity. So the guys today have to understand, you're out here. Nobody expected you to be here. But you believe you have something in you that the coaches just aren't catching yet. You have to show that today. And if you can go out there and do something great against CeeDee Lamb, the Cowboys, whatever, you get yourself another opportunity to go out there and show what you're all about.
And as you guys pointed out, B-Mitch, you are no stranger to the quarterback position.
No.
So let's talk about Dak Prescott a little bit. Leads the league in touchdowns. This dude can ball out. He's having a career year. How do we slow him down today?
You got to put pressure on him. We can talk about the secondary all we want. It comes down to pressure on the quarterback. If you don't put pressure on the quarterback and stop the run, Dak Prescott is going to have one of those days. But if you can get pressure on him, I started looking at the list. Casey Tuhill's out. Andre Jones is out. But somebody needs to go out there and get some pressure. Somebody needs to. And if you start hitting the quarterback, I can remember when I played, if you didn't touch me, I'm about to have a good day on you. I'm dancing and doing everything. If you started hitting me, I'm starting to wonder where they're coming from. So that makes you care about the rush more than you do about where your guys are.
Clean quarterbacks are dangerous. If your quarterback is clean in the third quarter, we're getting no pressure. But one knock I can say about this Dallas Cowboys team, 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, they're not a power running team. They're not a team that stop the run on defense, and they don't run the ball well. So if you can make them truly one-dimensional and put the ball in the air, do y'all feel this win?
Yeah.
Anything can happen in this win.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah. And as B-Mitch mentioned, 3 guys on his defensive line are out.
Yeah.
Who do you want to see step up on this defensive line? Because like you said, those trenches, that's how we win the game.
Well, it's the Ridgeways of the world.
Yeah.
It's the guys that's
AJ
at the
Henry,
bottom. It's the guys we don't know their name.
Yeah.
It's the guys that say, you know what, you'll know it after these 4 quarters of football. So the nameless ones, stand up. Show me who you are.
Yeah, I've always said, when you're out here in a game like this, get your name called.
Yes.
And make sure when you get your name called, it's for a positive reason.
Yeah.
And this is where a lot of guys have been, where they found a game themselves in a position like this, where they made a play that coaches said, oh, wow, and they ignited their career. Yeah. And this can happen for a lot of guys out there.
Against a playoff team.
Yes.
Like you're making it against the top of the league. Go make a name for yourself.
Prime example, Sam Howell last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect
Prime example.
And so last time we were in Dallas, Tana, Tony Pollard, we talked about him a lot. He had 78 yards against us. Not great. How do we contain him today and keep that running game from getting started for Dallas?
I mean, it's been tough for him between the tackles, but he's the guy that's still capable. He's not one of those guys now that getting the chance to, not carry so much of a load because he doesn't have the other guy that could be that pounder.
Yeah.
So we just got to get at them. Look, you got to think about it. These guys are going to the postseason. They have that already, sewed up for themselves. Guys like Pollard, they understand that. They don't want to go into that thing limping.
Yeah.
They don't want to go into their sword nicked up. So he's going to try to get what he can and get out of there. So a lot of these guys have a mentality of, look, we here. We don't have to do much to beat these guys. So with that mindset and with that being said, we have to go out there and bring it to them. If you go out there and hit them a couple of times, they'll lay down because guess what? They don't want to go in there hurt. They don't want to be injured. They don't want to be nicked up. So trust me, if you punch them in the mouth a couple of times, they will show you that, look, guess what, man? We in the playoffs. We'll let y'all win today.
You see one guy get nicked up, they're going to start pulling them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like somebody pulling bingo numbers.
Yeah.
Pulling them up out of there, man.
Well, thank Lord the Salvation Army and them turkey legs ain't out here today. So I can sit back and I can watch this game, and hopefully I can watch some careers blossom here today.
Yeah. And you talk about careers blossoming, we have young linebackers that have had to step up as well because we have had that injury bug. Khalid Hudson, Cody Barton. What have you seen from our young linebackers that have come in and stepped up, Fred?
Swapping paint. They tell me the best linebackers leave the game with the other team's color on their jersey, on their helmet. Understand it. And Khalid has been great in coverage. Ferguson today will be a challenge at tight end. They love to throw the ball to Pollard out the backfield. That'll be a challenge. I think Cody Barton has figured out what they asking him to do, and he's stepping up and he's doing that. So we're seeing the maturation at linebacker, and we also seeing some guys getting the opportunity to play like Khalid, and he's making the best of it.
You talk about that maturation at the linebacker. I got a chance to talk to Khalid Hudson on the Next Man Up podcast, and there's not a player that I think has progressed more than him on this team. Let's take a look at that conversation. It is time for our Never Ordinary interview presented by Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. What makes Khalid Hudson never ordinary?
I feel like what makes me never ordinary is being able to be a 3-level player.
Yeah.
Being able to play on the line of scrimmage, come off the edge, being able to play linebacker, read my keys, guard tight ends, guard the running backs, and I could play back deep if you ask me to.
Yeah.
So I feel like, being able to do all that just brings more value to yourself and just allows you to be a playmaker all over the field.
I believe you, man, because clearly you're a superior athlete. Because back in the day, I think you was in high school, you made this video. You jump over this massive human, like literally just off a vert, and you catch a one-handed pass, man. Talk to us about that and what made you decide, like, yo, I'm going to put this on film and I'm going to put this out there for the people.
It was just a regular day. We was at the field just playing around. I think we was playing 7-on-7, just one-on-ones and stuff like that. And when we were done, we were just, playing around, just doing crazy catches and stuff. And I did that. It's crazy. That wasn't even the craziest catch I had. That was just the one I posted. That's all.
There was better ones in the files.
Yeah, it was better ones, but I didn't know it was gonna do numbers like that. But I'm glad I did post it.
Boy, went viral, man. Like you said, you said that you are
the first person to make one of those viral catch videos, right? You started the trend?
Yes, I started the trend.
That's definitely never ordinary.
On that. Search it up. So I want somebody to search it up to make sure I ain't talking out the side of my neck.
Now, I saw the video, and I think it was like 8 years old. So you might be right, bro. Like, the 8 years is a really long time ago, man.
Serious. Look, like
before TikTok.
I'm seeing the backflips, 2 hands. I'm seeing everything. That's just like, I'm like, yeah, all right, I started that.
Yep. And when you watch that video, you see your superb athleticism there. You see the vertical jump. Now, whenever guys sit in this chair, somehow we get talking about basketball. And I know you played a little bit in high school. Everybody that sat in that chair has said they are the best hooper in a Commander's jersey. Are you ready to say that about yourself? Or do you think there's somebody else out there that can get you? Because I think Crowder said he was a hooper. Quan said he was a hooper. KJ said he's the best hooper. Like, he's from where hoopers are from. That's what KJ said. Are you willing to say that?
I'm not going to say I'm the best hooper, but I'll say I'm the best rebounder.
Okay, yep, that vertical.
For real, I'm the best rebounder. I probably got the best defense on the team, too.
Okay, all right. So you really, like, you on your Dennis Rodman out there.
Yeah, I'm in the trenches. So look, in high school, I was the center, I was the power forward.
Wow.
I'm 5'11".
Means you was a dog.
About to throwing bows, you know what I mean?
You talk about being in the trenches, man. Well, that's the kind of athlete you are on the football field, man. This year, you've really gotten your chance to show who you are and what you can do. In your own words, man, how do you feel the season you've had this year? Talk about it a little bit.
Like I said earlier in the season, the opportunities on defense wasn't there as much, but I was still able to contribute a lot on special teams and have a huge impact on special teams, which I'm very grateful for. And then later in the season, my opportunities were starting to rack up, and now I'm able to. I was able to start this last 4 games of the season, and I feel like it's going well for myself. I got a lot to improve on, but I really feel like I had the opportunity to show a lot of what I can do. Like I said, being a 3-level player, playing on line scrimmage, linebacker, and even doing some safety DB stuff that they had asked me to do. So I'm just grateful for the opportunity. Very humble, very grateful, and I'm just excited to see where this all takes me after this year. So.
Yeah, Khalid, you definitely exemplified that next man up mentality, man. It's been great seeing you shine in this new role, man. We hope to see more of it. We got a game against the Cowboys, man. Thank you so much for your time, and we appreciate you for being never ordinary.
Sir. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, brother.
Great talking to our guy, Khalid Hudson. And honestly, it's been great talking to all the Commanders players on the Next Man Up podcast. You can check out that full interview on our Commanders YouTube page, as well as a bunch of other great podcasts. Now, fellas, you hear it. The Next Man Up, we talk about it all the time. Who needs to be the Next Man Up today against Dallas? B. Mitch, I'm going to start with you.
I mean, anybody out there getting a chance. It's a lot of people. There are a lot of the starters that are not playing today. But I think anybody that gets the opportunity to play today, you have to show what you're about. Tanner mentioned it earlier about, people are playing for not just today, they're playing for their career. Some of it may be the last one if you don't show something. So ultimately for me, every guy that's getting an opportunity needs to go out there and do something positive. Listen, I know the mindset is that, they're playing these guys because we don't want to win. The guys out there may have a different plan. A lot of these guys may go out there and ball out and make you understand, I'm not here to be going around letting somebody lose game. What the hell do I care about who you want to draft? I want to keep a job.
Yeah.
And if everybody have that mindset, then you can have an upset today.
Every guy on the field.
Yeah.
Every guy I can't say one individual. Every guy on the field has to be the next man up. I remember playing in this game 2013. Season is over. I believe we was 3-13 that year. We had nothing to play for. We in New York. It is raining. It's slush. I'm shivering. I remember Trent Williams saying, OG, why are you in the game? Bro, because it means that much to me. Everybody has to go out there and be that next man up.
Always great hearing from you guys, and we always want to hear from our Commanders family as well. So remember to leave #LeftHandUp in the comments with your questions and have it answered by these gentlemen right here. Now, we have to go to break, but before we go to break, clearly, what you call this, B. Mitch, this is football weather.
Oh, yeah.
So let's take a look.
Well, that's what Coach Gibbs told me. And now I'm realizing he was fooling me. It's cold.
Oh, yeah, it is super cold out here. So let's take a look at our game day forecast presented by NBC4. We are working for you. Now, it is a little more than cold out here. As Logan would say, that hawk is out. It is a high of 50 degrees. That is a lie. It is a low of 35. 0% chance of precipitation, fellas, so no rain. And 6 miles per hour winds. Shout out to our friends at NBC4 for the weather update. Oh, yeah, that wind going right now. Like I said, we got to go to break, but we've got plenty more in store for you right after the break. That's right. When we come back, it's time for B. Mitch's Big 3 featuring a special guest. Now stay tuned to Command Center Game Day Live, presented by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. It's the only Commanders pregame show. And also, big shout out to Fred Smoot for joining us. He left right away because he was just way too cold.
Yeah,
he went and got warm. We're going to hang out with y'all, Commanders family. We here in the trenches with y'all. We will be right back after this break. There's no reason to go anywhere because we will keep a live look of the field the entire break.
The most rewarding sportsbook is here. With Fanatic Sportsbook, you can earn fan cash back on every bet you make. 5% on same-game parlays, 3% on parlays, 1% on straight bets. You can spend fan cash on jerseys, hats, bonus bets, and more. So win or lose, you always get something back. Welcome to the most rewarding sportsbook. Start earning fan cash now.
Toyota is the official automotive partner of the NFL, with a lineup that can't be beat. And with plenty of vehicles in stock, there's less waiting and more saving. So head into your Toyota dealer. We'll make a game plan just for you. Buy a Tundra now with 4.99% APR, or go with a Tacoma and get 3.99% APR. It's game on at Toyota, official partner of the NFL. Toyota, let's go places.
Oh, game's on. We need more chips. More dip, too.
More?
Yes, more. Oh, that reminds me. We can still score that $400 bonus from Northwest if we hurry. It's with your first ever checking account.
$400? That's the kind of more I like.
Then let's do it. But first, more chips.
To earn bonus, open first ever checking account and deposit at least $500 in ACH or direct deposits per month within the first 90 days. Offer ends November 30. Details at nwfcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Hey, grab me one too.
We're in Prince George's County.
Working for you. Let's go get some breakfast.
Let's go give someone some coffee.
Go make somebody's morning.
How are you?
Barging in.
Want some free coffee in the community? Okay.
I don't watch anything else but Channel 4. My family.
We are literally working for you. Who wants hash browns? Order up.
This is the team that helps me rise and shine.
We love News 4 Today.
We're News 4 Today.
Working for you.
The final stone of the championship.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary.
Roger, this is looking good.
We believe every moment in sports should be epic.
Is that curling? Nah.
This morning's news, curling fever has taken over the world.
So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Welcome back, Commanders family, to Command Center Game Day Live, presented by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. We are just an hour away from kickoff of our last game here at FedEx Field of the season, where the Commanders will be taking on their rivals, the Dallas Cowboys. These live views are brought to you by Verizon. Verizon, the network Commanders rely on. And fellas, for the last time of our pregame show, we have a very special delivery. delivered by Grubhub. Fans, don't forget to order your unlimited game day spread using the Grubhub QR code. No fees will be applied. And this special delivery comes from our producer, Anna Newkirk. Fellas, open this for me real quick. Let's see what we got in there. Yo, my hands are real cold, man.
Anna ran away from the camera. She's scared of the camera.
Shout out to Randy Barnes, who gave us a shout out on the YouTube page. We appreciate y'all. And speaking of fans giving us a shout out, we got some left head up questions. Brian Cole Jr. here with Brian Mitchell, Santana Moss, welcoming in the legend, London Fletcher.
What's
Brother,
going on? He's talking about his cold here.
Listen,
he played in Buffalo.
Before we get started here, if the fans don't know, these guys love you because it's cold as Alaska right here. It's a lot cold. It's probably about 10 degrees colder up here.
Yeah,
it is cold. It's like a wind tunnel right here.
It definitely is, London. We've been dealing with it all year, but we would do it again because, like London said, we love our Commanders family, and we love when y'all put y'all questions in. So let's get right to it.
Yeah.
London, you cool if I start with you?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, maybe this will help you get warm. You know what I mean? What do you think the biggest difference needs to be between today and the Thanksgiving game when we played Dallas last time to get the win, London Fletcher?
Defensively, we can't give up those explosive plays. We gave up a lot of explosive plays.
That's one of my keys to victory.
And you and I haven't talked all week, but we gave up too many explosive plays in the passing game. I know Jack was calling the defense back then. Ron's going to call them today. I anticipate us playing a lot more two-shell, making the Cowboys earn everything they get from an offensive standpoint.
Yep. Fellas, you too? Y'all got it? Y'all got it for that?
Yeah, they can't give up the big plays, but also they can't help Dallas with the turnovers and things of that nature. You know, one thing about it, when you go and you have a turnover or you have one of those costly penalties where you get a first down, you have to move back, that's helping the team beat you.
Yeah.
This is all, everybody's pro athletes. They don't need no help. You know, so if you go out there and you can play a clean game, don't turn the ball over, don't have those costly penalties, then you can be right there in the end and win it for you.
You can tell me and B. Mitch do a lot of shows together because I was going to say that no costly mistakes, no turnovers, and try to run the ball. I think when you in this kind of weather, man, no one wants to be out here. I mean, don't get me wrong, they say it's football weather. You're a lie. I don't want to be out here. I don't want to be out here.
Nobody feels that way.
I know we get off script for a second, but you talked about, hey, if you was playing this game, you would be out there with no sleeves on, and I played in Buffalo, played here. I also would be out there with no sleeves on, but B. Mitch, they was paying us a lot more money back then.
For sure.
And y'all had to be cold. Hit. Well, you know what? Somebody ain't getting no money as our Commanders fans, and they helping us drive this segment right here. So we got one more question. And Tana, I'm going to start with you because this seems tailor-made for the Cowboy Killer.
Let's see.
When we win, and they underline win, this game, what do you say to those salty Cowboy fans who will say this game didn't matter, so they don't care about this L? Talk to them, Tanner.
You just wink at them because, you know, we live to spoil their day. You know what I mean? One of the things about this rivalry, it don't matter who you are in our division, we want to see the Cowboys not have success. So even though you're going to the postseason, you're not the East champs. So I'm going to give you a wink. I'll see you next year.
Well, you know what, man? We love the fans that believe in us, man. We're happy that y'all are looking for a win. And we love hearing from these guys. We love hearing from you. But we also love hearing from Logan Paulson and Fred Smoot. You guys had a conversation on the Command Center podcast a little earlier in the week. Let's check that out right now.
All right, so now it's time for Commanders Advantages. It is a Dallas Rivalry Week edition. That's always fun to do, right? So we're each going to do one of these, and Tana's is going to be very obvious when we go through this. But we're going to do the, how do you say this, Jason? Get on here.
Brahma Bull.
Brahma Bull. Who's going to be the Brahma? And what is a Brahma Bull?
It's a big. It's a bull that can't be broken, right?
Yeah, it's a big, mean.
Bull.
Cowboys break bull. That's why I want to listen.
Who's going to buck the trends? Who's going to be that tough guy that's going to break the Cowboys? You got the sheriff. Who's going to lay down the law, right?
They're the law. You know, Cowboys and lawmen don't get along.
Yeah, don't get
the lawmen.
That's exactly right. And then I think it's obvious, but the Cowboy Killer. Who's gonna take that name that Tana's made so iconic and apply it to this game?
And who's got to be the sheriff of this game?
Yeah, lay down the law.
It's going to have to be Sam. I hate to say it.
Sam.
Because I feel like you're not going to beat them 10-3. Yeah. This is going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
All right, if you're going to keep up with them, you're going to have to score points. And the only way we can score points, if the sheriff, and the last time we called a quarterback the sheriff, he went to the Hall of Fame, and that was Peyton Manning.
Being the bull, bucking the trends.
Yeah.
I want to see Quan and I want to see Forbes.
Yeah.
And I want to see this secondary in the back end just generally. But Quan's going to draw the matchup in the slot, I think, with CeeDee Lamb.
And that ain't going to be easy.
And he did some good stuff in the first matchup, but he was just kind of getting back in the
into
fold.
it. Yeah.
And I think we've seen a more confident player. Like you saw a matchup against Debo in the slot.
Yeah.
You saw a matchup against Kittle in the slot in this last game. He's a competitive, tough,
he feels a
son of a
point
gun
of attack when it comes to run plays too. I like
and
it.
yeah, so I think that's a good opportunity for him in this game to keep building on what he's been building on.
Yeah,
Cowboy killer.
Last but not least, the Cowboy killer. Who's going to be the Cowboy killer? And when you have one passing the torch down, you can't pass it to no one else but someone who fits the model. You know what I mean? Fits the quote unquote the Cowboy killer, what he does best, and that's being a receiver. So I'm going to have to pass it to a receiver, and I think it's obvious who I would pass it to because I feel like this offense doesn't go unless this guy goes. So I believe Terry has to be that Cowboy killer. I want to see Terry have one of the games that they tried to make me have every time we face the Cowboys. The Cowboy game, the Dallas game, every week I knew that I was going to get 15 or more targets. And I think when we watched Terry in some of these games, whether it was the games from last year where Heineke just knew what to do. Because he was like, hey, when in doubt, I'm throwing this ball to Terry. Or when it's games where we did this year with EB, just say, hey, I'm going to give him his attempts early to keep us in the game. Like that first Eagles game, that first 2 or 3 drives, it was Terry. Terry.
You heard from the fellas on the Command Center podcast. You can listen to that wherever you get your podcast, or you can watch it on the Commanders YouTube page. Now, Santana, you are the Cowboy killer, and you said you want Terry McLaurin to be the next Cowboy killer. How does he get that done today?
I think they just have to go at him. You know, I mean, one of the things about playing against this team, you know, for some odd reason, I can't say odd, but I understand why, but we didn't do it every week. But for some odd reason, when we played against the Cowboys, it's almost like it was a different script. You know, we talking about the script in the NFL? Yeah. Hey, Tanner, here you go. They showing me. I'm going to get off this week. Terry's one of those guys, he get off every week. You know, anytime you give him the opportunity. Playing our position, it's all about opportunity. So I think if they continue to allow him to be effective, do the things that he does best, he should be the next guy. He should be the next Cowboy killer.
Now, London, I'm glad you hung out with us because as soon as Fred got a chance, he left us. He was way too cold.
Fred is light-skinned.
Hey. I'm cold now.
Yeah, the light-skinned dude's soft.
Well, listen, you are very lucky to be here, my brother, because you are here for one of the best segments of the show, and that is B. Mitch's Big Three. And B. Mitch ain't light-skinned today. So B. Mitch, go ahead and get into that Big Three.
We ain't stunned, London.
Butter pecan.
Hopefully what happened is
Mitch's Big Three to a victory here today at FedEx Field, brought to you by Maryland Lottery. Fast play games. Play fast, win fast today, but please play responsibly.
Well, London started off early. He said don't give up explosive plays. You can't do that.
Yeah.
When you begin to give up explosive plays, then you get demoralized. Your offensive game plan goes out the window. So the defense cannot allow that. When we flip it over, you know, I want to see on the defense, we make Dak Prescott uncomfortable.
Yeah.
When Dak is uncomfortable, he's not the quarterback he's been this year. He throws interceptions. He tries to get the ball in his hands. If we could get him to get uncomfortable, London, then all of a sudden you see things work against him.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right about that. And it's going to be some guys that haven't played a lot, have some new roles. We're out without, you know, Cam Curl. Jonathan Allen's not going to play in this ball game. So some guys are going to get some opportunity. Casey Tuhill's not playing. Guys are going to get some opportunities. Going back to Cowboy Killer, I want to add B-Rob to that Cowboy Killer. This is that type of game where B-Rob, and I feel like we've said this over and over, week after week, run the damn ball. Give him the football 20-plus times. We need 30 carries in this type of game, especially when you look at the Cowboys and how teams have been able to run the ball against them lately.
And then the last one, I would say, I want every player out there to believe you can win. Okay, get on the football field and show some pride about yourself. This year hasn't been the year that we all wanted. But you know what? You can do something today and make everybody forget about all the other things that happened. You beat Dallas' ass today, and everybody around here will be happy, believe me. Except some of the fans that don't want us to win. But ultimately, I think if you go out there, show you have pride, and make sure that you believe you can win this game, that's the third key right there. Because if you don't believe, then stay home. Shouldn't be out here anyway.
Do it for the district. I think one of the things I've always said, man, you know, win, lose, or draw, I'm coming out here to put on the show. You know, that's my mindset. Look, man, if we can be down 40 and 89 ain't going to stop. I'm going to still be on the field trying to make a way. So I think you give the fans something to look forward to next year. Come out here and give it your all. And leave it on the field. You can get treatment throughout the entire offseason. You have nothing to get ready for next year. You got a long offseason to get healthy, but look, go out here and do it for the Dictionary.
Beat Dallas, man. Listen, what you're saying and what we felt, we never played a game. I don't care what our record was, what point of the season, what the situation was, where we didn't go into that ball game expecting to win, expecting to play our best. As a pro athlete, especially as a football player, that's how you have to play. Yeah. That's how you wire. You don't ever go into a game like, oh, well, I'm only going to give you 50%. I'm only going to give you 80%. You'll get hurt. You'll get hurt playing that type of way. Every guy, every coach who's going to take that field for us today, they're coming in here with the mindset to win the football, put our best stuff out there, and let's see where the chips may fall.
Yeah.
There you go.
Amen to that. Do it for the district, as Santana Moss said. That is B. Mitch's Big Three. London, man, thank you for joining us.
Appreciate
you got to get up out of this cold, man. You got some more work to do.
Hey, you know what? Hold on.
The tone setter.
All right, now it's a little late now. I don't know if we believe in it now. He done ripped everything off.
I ain't that stupid.
No, we's going to get a whole show right now from London Fletcher. Well, we have to go to break, but when we come back, we'll be talking about the offensive side of this ball. Once again, shout out to London Fletcher, and shout out to B. Mitch for giving us his big three. You are watching Command Center Game Day Live, brought to you by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. We'll be back right after this break.
Every 2 minutes of the NFL, not just the ones you're warned about. Cherish the spreads to cover, overs to hit, and chances to live bet from the first down to the final whistle. So don't just watch football this season, cherish it.
Bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
VetTix secures unused event tickets to give back to the military and veteran community. The mission? To strengthen family bonds, build lifelong memories, and encourage service members and vets to stay engaged in their community. Giving out over 15 million tickets since 2008, VetTix continues to give something to those who gave. To find out how you can help give once-in-a-lifetime experiences to our veterans, service members, and their families, visit vettix.org today.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception? First down? Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Oh, game's on. We need more chips. More dip, too.
More?
Yes, more. Oh, that reminds me. We can still score that $400 bonus from Northwest if we hurry. It's with your first ever checking account.
$400? That's the kind of more I like.
Then let's do it. But first, more chips.
To earn bonus, open first ever checking account and deposit at least $500 in ACH or direct deposits per month within the first 90 days. Offer ends November 30. Details at nwfcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
The most rewarding sportsbook is here. With Fanatic Sportsbook, you can earn fan cash back on every bet you make. 5% on same-game parlays, 3% on parlays, 1% on straight bets. You can spend fan cash on jerseys, hats, bonus bets, and more. So win or lose, you always get something back. Welcome to the most rewarding sportsbook. Start earning fan cash now.
Welcome back, Commanders family, to Command Center Game Day Live, presented by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. This place is getting ready for this game out here in FedEx Field. Kickover is set for 1 p.m. I'm sorry, for 4:25. I apologize for that, man. I'm used to the 1 p.m. games. It feels like 4:25 out here. These live views on the sideline out of FedEx Field are brought to you by Verizon. Verizon, the network Commanders rely on. And let's get right into our Air Power, presented by Air National Guard, proud partner of the Washington Commanders. This one is a Tana takeover from our Command Center episode that we had earlier this week.
Fellas, it's only fitting. It's Dallas week, and they got your boy, the Cowboy Killer, to talk about some guys that I want to pass the torch to be this week's Cowboy Killer against the mighty Dallas Cowboys. First on my list, I got to say my man, Terry McLaurin. Terry's one of those guys, man. I think when it comes down to the things that he can do for our offense, the things that we see him do so well each week, it's just give him the opportunity. Opportunity is everything. One of the things I always say about being a receiver, the more opportunities you give me, the more chances I got to be lethal. That's why Terry should be number one on my list. Number two, I got Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel has been, to me, I believe, our MVP this year. And I'm not saying because he's been the most valuable player on our offense or the most valuable player on our defense, I mean on our team as a whole. I just believe that Curtis Samuel, with the lure that he has gotten, he's rose to the occasion. He's done a little more than what we've asked him, and that's why I think he's one of those unsung hero type of guys. So I believe he can be one of those guys that we call a Cowboy Killer this week. And last but not least, I know this guy's a running back, but he's a Cowboy Killer to me in the running game and the passing game. But we're talking about the passing game. I want to talk about my main man, B-Rob. B-Rob, we missed him a couple of weeks. He's back. He showed you what he did last week in the run game and the passing game. I believe with this Dallas defense, when they're coming up the field and blitzing and doing all sorts of things that they do well, we can attack these guys in the passing game with B-Rob on screens and giving him the ball right now in the backfield on those check down routes. This is why I believe that all three of these guys can be efficient enough to go out there and be our next Cowboy Killer coming from the Cowboy Killer himself. What you guys think about that?
Welcome back, Commanders family, to Command Center Game Day Live. Brian Cooper Jr. here with Brian Mitchell, Santana Moss. Now, Tanner, we talked about Terry. We talked about Brian Robinson, but another guy that was on your list was Curtis Samuel. You called him kind of the safety blanket all year.
Yeah.
What do you expect to see from him in this last game?
Going out there to do what he do. He's a Swiss Army knife. He's a guy that no matter what route, what position you want to line him up in, he's going to go out there and get it, get the job done. He's a guy I hope that he's like one of those guys that you have to come into the game and say, oh, I'm going to give him at least 15 touches. I want to see this guy touch the ball 15 times, meaning whether he's in the backfield, whether he's out wide in the slot. Just find a way for him to get going. I think he's just like Terry. If you get him going, then everybody else can get going around him.
And we talked about Sam Howell to start the show. He is going to be the starter. Let's talk about that mentality, though, right? Everything he's been through, we talked about the way he's shaking off the bad things. Today is his last chance to show what he has this season. B-Mitch, how does he shake off those bad things and mentally prepare for a game like this?
Well, I think just be Sam. The ultimate thing, Sam is not a guy who gets too high. He doesn't get too low. He's an even-keel guy who believes in himself. And if you have that confidence and that strong confidence in yourself, you just go out there and play football. I've always told young guys, when you're on the football field, stop trying to do something you're not capable of.
Yes.
Just be who you are. Be the person you were that made them want to say that you're the guy.
Yes.
Okay? And if he just goes through that, I remember Gus Surratt, he headbutt the wall, okay? What the hell you headbutt this stadium for? It's not going anywhere. Okay, they damn near knocked himself out.
Yeah.
I'm like, what were you doing? He said, I was just showing him how tough I was. Be tough by getting in the huddle, calling the play, and throwing a dime.
Yeah.
Don't try to do something stupid. And I think Sam is that type of kid where he's so even keel, he's going to just go out there and play football. And I think his team has to help him. We look at the quarterback position and we put so much pressure on it.
Yeah.
But I've always said it, it's the most dependent position in all of sports. They can't start a play without the center snapping it to them. They can't run it without handing it to somebody. They can't throw it and catch it by themselves. They got to throw it to somebody like Santana. So when you have a position like that and an even keel guy, just give him a little help. Then you will see that strength come out of him, and he'll do the rest.
And Tanner, we talked about B-Rob a lot. You heard London say We need to see at least 30 carries today.
Yeah.
We haven't seen it yet, but maybe we'll see it today. How important is B-Rob to this offense?
I mean, wishful thinking what London was talking about, 30 carries. Oh, my God. I hope. But, I mean, he's very important, man. And not important, not only important, he's hungry. You know, B-Rob shows you how hungry he was last week against the 49ers, how he ran that ball, knowing that he missed 2 games, you know, dealing with that hamstring. I didn't expect him to come out and be full, you know, be his full self last week, and he showed me, you know, no, I'm ready. I was sitting home, resting, getting myself ready for these moments. So I would love to see this guy get acclimated back into our offense because I think, you know, going forward, we need to find a way to run the ball a little more behind him.
And we mentioned earlier as well about Terry, 54 yards away from his 4th consecutive 1,000-yard season. B-Mitch, man, you played every position, man. How important is it to Terry to hit that milestone today?
I don't know if it's the top thing, but I think he would love to do it because, you know, he put so much work into it.
Yeah.
You know, Terry wants to win the football game first. Terry wants to be playing for a playoff because he's more of a team guy. But to accomplish that goal when only 6 people would have done it, you know, that's going to be a great pride thing for him. So when he goes to the offseason and he needs motivation of going out there and working out when he doesn't want to do it, hey, man, go get 6.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing about it where I know he'll be prideful to get it, but I don't think he's coming out here saying, I need to do that today because there's a lot of things that he hadn't accomplished and he would want to accomplish before that.
And when Terry accomplishes that feat today, we're saying when, not if. When he accomplishes that feat, he'll be the only Washington player to ever have gotten 4 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. Tanner, that's big because you played. You were a big-time player, and to do something like that, you got to be a consistent player. Yeah. You're one of the most consistent players we've seen wear this jersey, man. How important is that consistency, and how hard is it?
It's not, I was going to say that first. It's hard. Brother, it's so hard. Yeah. And not only is it hard, it's when you have as many quarterbacks that Terry has played with, it's even harder. So to see him accomplish this feat would be everything. And I'm rooting for him. I was one of the first guys that say, man, this guy has a great opportunity. Look, he could have had 5 because his first year he missed 2 games and ended with 900. So, man, this guy, that shows you the value of Terry. That shows you why we all look at him the way we do because he goes out there and get it done regardless of circumstances or the situation he's in.
Well, you noticed earlier I said 5 times. Yes. Because I gave him the 1,000 yards the first season.
You know what's happening.
Well, some of the quarterbacks he had.
It's so difficult to do what he's doing today, man. It's so difficult.
Man, our Walter Payton Man of the Year, Terry, getting it done on and off the field. Now we're gearing up for kickoff, baby. And speaking of gearing up, it is time to gear up for kickoff presented by Fanatics. Let's send this out to the Players Club with London, Santana, and linebacker Cody Barton and see how he gears up for game day.
Last game left, man, against the rival Dallas Cowboys. What can we expect from you in that game?
Playing fast and nasty. I'm excited for this game. I've been looking forward to this game for a long time, ever since we played them the first time, which was only, 6 weeks ago or whatever?
Yeah. Yes.
But still, I'm looking forward to this game. It was a little cold, too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
4 o'clock game.
Yeah.
Should have won, but.
Yeah, but you know, it might actually be better now. It's 4 o'clock, probably going to be a little chillier, you know, out.
Listen, Cody, we linebackers, man. Linebackers, so when I was here, I used to talk about the linebackers, man. We set the tone and we set the tempo. Linebackers set the tone. Linebackers set the tempo. Ain't nothing changed but the location from the first time you played against these guys. It's going to be hitting weather on Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys. Y'all tune in.
You just heard from Cody Barton on the Players Club. You can check out the full episode of the Players Club and all of the great episodes from this season on the Commanders YouTube page. And as normal, fellas, for the last time, we gearing up too. We have these items. These items are all over at the store. Now head to the store today because there are a ton of great sales there.
Gonna have this.
I know all these are smalls. Yeah. They don't bring us our sizes because they know we're going to take it, right?
They know how to take it home.
They know better.
They know better than that. And
Yes,
fans,
indeed.
listen, you have a lot to be excited for today. This is the last game, but again, you can go get gear over at the Fan Shop. And you know what? We got some more info for you because we got a 2024 season right on the way. That is right. The stands have been packed at our place this year, and we're excited to keep building on that energy in 2024. With 5 picks in the first 3 rounds of the 2024 NFL Draft, ample cap space, and 9 regular season games at FedEx Field, there's a lot to look forward to. Guarantee your place at FedEx Field for the 2024 season with just $50 when you place a deposit. It's just a $50 deposit. To learn more about season ticket benefits and secure your spot in 2024, visit commanders.com/deposits. This is Command Center Game Day Live, brought to you by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. Now, Northwest is celebrating Game Day and thanking Commanders fans with a $400 cash bonus when you open your first ever checking account. This is a limited time offer, so do not wait. Visit northwestnwfcu.org/Washington to find out how you can score that cash bonus with your new checking account. And remember, stop searching and go Northwest. We'll be right back after this break, Commanders family.
Georges County.
Working for you. Let's go get some breakfast.
Let's go give someone some coffee.
Go make somebody's morning.
How are you?
Barging in.
Want some free coffee in the community? Okay.
I don't watch anything else but Channel 4. My family.
We are literally working for you. Who wants hash browns? Order up.
This is the team that helps me rise and shine.
We love News 4 Today. We're News 4 Today. Working for you.
You're going to like this story because it's about you. You who forgot to charge your phone last night. You who sprints to the boarding line so your bag will fit. You with him. Until one day you boarded a United plane that was designed for, well, you. And your phone got charged, your bag fit, so did everyone else's, but this story isn't about them. Your toddler didn't tantrum and you got to fly happily ever after. The end.
Final stone of the championship.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary.
Roger, this is looking good.
We believe every moment in sports should be epic.
Is that curling? No.
This morning's news, curling fever has taken over the world.
So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Hey, it's me, food. I'm so much more than just what we eat. I'm hand-cut, fresh and frosted. I love it. Aw, I love you too. See, life is always something new. All messy, frantic, and amazing. And from where I sit, you look delicious. That's why every day is worth celebrating. If you can. Stay fresh. Sincerely, food. Sincerely, Safeway.
Welcome back, Commanders family. It's Command Center Game Day Live, presented by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. It is Week 18. That's crazy. Week 18 out here at FedEx Field, where the Commanders are gearing up for a battle against their rivals, the Dallas Cowboys. Brian Cole Jr. here with Brian Mitchell, Santana Moss. And fellas, we talked about what this game means for the Dallas Cowboys, right? We know they're trying to get that #1 spot in the NFC East, but I'm going to ask you a tough question. What does this game mean for Washington today, B. Mitch?
Well, I think it's about pride, okay? When you have one more chance to go out there and show who you are.
Yeah.
And you have a chance to erase some of the thoughts that people had from throughout the season. And also it's about pride, how you want to finish. It's about also establishing something to go into next year. You know, what are you going to put out? What's going to be the performance you put out there? Are you going to tell people that, hey, what you saw is what I am? Or are you going to say, no, it wasn't that way?
Yeah.
And you're going to tell other people that may be on other teams, you know, hey, you know, everybody on this team today, on this field, are not going to be on this football team next year.
Yes.
What are you telling other teams out there? And I think it's basically the last stamp of your resume for the next year.
Yeah, and Tana, a lot of fans would look at this game and say, this is all about a draft pick. We just need to lose. We don't want to win out there. But you're a player. You've been out there. You've been in the trenches. You put that helmet on. Tell the fans why that is not the mentality they have and why it's not a mentality our Commanders players would ever have.
Yeah, I mean, I care less about what they feel, but I understand. They're fans. I mean, so if that's what you want, hey, you know, root for it. But as players, we don't have that mindset. We don't have that even in mind. I'm not coming into this stadium saying, ooh, we got to hurry up and lose this game so we can get the numbers, you know, stay in the top, you know, the top couple of picks for the draft next year. these guys don't know their faith. They don't know if they're even going to be a part of this team next year.
Yeah.
Like I said before, they have one goal in mind. That's to go out here and win, and the other one is to go out there and do their job. And so I think every guy's coming into this stadium just saying, hey, I have one more chance, like B. Mitchell said, to put that stamp on my resume, to make sure that I leave this 23 season with a good note. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that they can say, well, at least he fought to the end. All 17 games, he was out there, fighting for his job, fighting for us to go out there and be the team that we was trying to be.
And B. Mitch, add to that, why is losing never an option when you're a player on this field?
As a player, like Tanner said, some guys may not be on this team next year. So why you want to lose to give them a draft pick or put them in a position when you may not be on the team?
Yeah.
Your mindset is always looking forward. I said it last week about that big old windshield and that little bitty rearview mirror.
Yeah.
I'm used to looking for the future. I don't give a damn about it. And when I look for the future, I'm involved with my future. I have control over my future by the way I play.
Yeah.
If I go out there and allow something else to happen, I may be cutting myself off. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So my goal is, if I'm not going to be here, somebody going to want me, because I'm going to go out there and play like I want to win this damn football game.
No doubt.
And B. Mitch, you've made 2 stops in the NFC East in your career.
3.
So give us 3. 3, wow. So you know better than anybody. What does winning the NFC East mean to a team in the NFC East?
We called it the black and blue division back in the day, where when you won this division, you had a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And I played for the Eagles, the Redskins at the time, and also the Giants. All those teams won Super Bowls. And back in the day, everybody was winning but the Eagles. Now the Eagles are the team.
Yeah.
But Dallas was one of those teams as well. And when you won that, you knew you had an opportunity. You had a chance. So if you're going to go win it, you're telling the rest of the league, you better be looking out, because we have a damn good chance, because the teams in your division were tougher than anything out there. And that's why when the teams back in the day went, they normally won the Super Bowl, point blank.
And you talk about those NFC East battles being tough. Tanner, take us back to 2012. Do you remember that battle against the Cowboys? Take us back there and what that game meant to you back then.
Well, it all depends. I mean, the first game when we played them on Thanksgiving 2012, that was one of those good games. But the last game we played them here to go into the playoff, knowing we was going to the postseason, it was a battle. But, like I said before, we are rivals. So these are always battles. Don't matter whether we're up or they up. You're going to go out here and get the best from every guy, because we know each other that well. And just like for these guys who haven't been a part of it this year earlier, they're going to have an opportunity to go out there and now put their stamp on it and say, okay, now I got a chance to go out here and show what I'm made of when it comes to this divisional rival.
How important is being number 1 in the NFC East? Right? We look at the Dallas Cowboys, look at the Eagles. It's going to be one of those 2 teams. I'm going to put y'all on the spot now. Who do y'all want to take that number 1 spot, and why should they be number 1?
The Eagles, because they paid me. I hate the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys. I don't ever want them to win anything. Point blank.
I love that. And I got to imagine the Cowboy killer feel the same way.
Yeah, I care less about nobody. But I would love to see the Cowboys not be the East champs.
Well, fellas, man, it is wild in here. We see our players on the field. The Cowboys are just leaving. There's a lot of Commanders fans in this building. It is crazy because this is our last game of the season, our final home game. And you know what, fellas? We talked about this. We took it a live look. Live looks presented by Verizon. Verizon, the network Commanders can rely on. Now, let's take a look at the secret sauce for today's game, presented by Capital City Mumbo Sauce, proud partner of the Washington Commanders. Fellas, we've done this a time or 2.
Yeah.
Gotta ask you, what's the secret sauce to success in today's game?
The secret sauce today is don't allow those big plays, and you have to make some yourself. You know what? You got to make some of those plays that that makes this game not go like everybody think it's going to go. You got to go hit Dak Prescott and make him fumble a football. Yeah. Or you see CeeDee Lamb about to come down with a catch and he get hit and the ball bounces out. You have to make a big play today. You have to come in here and say, I'm going to be the game changer. Okay, some of these defensive players and even offensive players, let's go out there and get that block. Yeah. Michael Parsons, he's going to have a field day today. Make it hard for him today.
I think playing like it's your last, which it is your last. But I'm talking about as far as, this is like the last time you're going to step on the field. Like I say, you don't know your faith. You don't know where you're going to be next year. Go out here, leave everything on the field, and put the records to the side and just go out here and play these guys. Say, look, you know us and we know you guys. who wanted the baddest. You know what I mean? Who wanted more? And you go out there and see who be the last team standing.
Shout out to Capital City Mumbo Sauce. That is the secret sauce to success today. And fellas, can't believe I'm saying this. Last time I'm saying it. Final thoughts on today's game before we get up out of this cold and get warm. What are your final thoughts on today's final matchup of the regular season?
My final thoughts, this is a storied rivalry.
Yeah.
Okay? I've been looking at the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington football franchise play ever since I was a little kid. And when you get, I can remember the Cowboys and the Indians back in the day. Okay? And then you see the football team, and I saw how this thing went. When I got here and I became a part of it, it meant a lot to me. And it used to be so much to the city where when that week came up, you saw it, you felt it, you could cut through it, and it's not there anymore. I want something to happen today to make that thing become like it was.
Yeah.
Because if we could go out there and do something great, all of a sudden now they're starting to wake up again, and they're going to feel it. I want to see this rivalry grow again.
Yeah.
That's my final thought, because it's gotten to a point where it's one-sided. I don't want to see that anymore.
You know, big-time players are created or born or made in games like this. You know what I mean? It's these games that get a lot of recognition because of the rivalry. And if you go out there and be one of those difference makers, you will be a household name. So I want one of the guys on our team to say, hey, this is the game. Today I'm going to be Santana of 05 to go out here and put my name in the books of being one of those Cowboy killers.
Yes, and my final thoughts is of thankfulness. Thankful for our Commanders family, for watching, for joining us, for being around the set, for always coming to talk to us. All these Commanders fan rallies that we've had across the country. It has been so great to get to know you guys. My first full season here, fellas. I appreciate y'all for being so welcoming. Thank y'all so much.
Stop being mushy, man. I don't hear all that.
You know what I'm saying? Stan's just trying to get him out of here. Stan,
go. Anyway.
Well, guys, listen, again, I'm so thankful, man. We have had a great time with you guys. Can I believe it's our last Command Center Game Day Live? However, post-game, we will be back for one more Command Center post-game live with the legend Logan Paulson. Huge shout-out to our producer, Maddie Benton. Making sure this show looks as good as it does. Shout out to Jason. Shout out to Anna, Kayla Key, Ryan Yoakum, Caroline, all the people that make the show what it is. Our jobs are easy because of you all. And, of course, our jobs are great because of the Commanders family. And shout out Fred Smoot, mouth of the South, and London Fletcher, who looked cold for the first time.
Yeah, he was.
Today.
He was cold.
Shout out to everybody that makes this show.
He's not as cool as me.
Not as cool. Nobody is cool as G-Mitch right here. Nobody is cool as Santana right now, freezing his butt off. So we're going to head up out of here. We will see you guys for Command Center Post Game Live. Thank you for everything, Commanders family.